Welcome back to Biotosis, everybody. We are going to know in this video how do we do literature review of any literature or research. People say we study this, study that. Why? What are we studying about? So Google Scholar on Google, you just have to put on Google. You have to say Google Scholar, right? Just say that, and this screen will pop up. Google Scholar has been here since 20 years and counting, right? So most of you probably know about it, but there is, when we talk about research, Google Scholar is something that you should know about. And if you are in your early stage, you need some sort of guidance. Okay, so I'll walk across some basics of how do we do review literature and how are we using Google Scholar or any other paper study for that matter. And later we can see if we can go dive deep into any particular topic, right? So I have only searched about plant biotechnology previously, but so there are, the results are about 41 something lakh. Okay, so what is this? This is a wide area of research. Okay, plant biotechnology in China. So I will tell you that this is a subject that I gave Google Scholar a topic which was plant biotechnology, which is a subject. Now, let's see how do we, if our favorite subject is plant biotechnology, or suppose our favorite subject is only biotechnology, which is a wider topic. So, I should presume that the results are more because it is a wider technology, like wider area. So, this is a bigger spectrum. Now we will go deep, more deep, more deep, more deep, so that we understand how are we going to dive deep into any particular thing and study about it. Okay, so let's say we're talking about biotechnology. I'll see some things. Now this is from the very beginning of research. Okay, so I don't want that. I am living in 2024, so I want papers since 2024. I can also set custom range from here, like from 2024 to somewhere, but I want papers from 2022, which is also, since biotechnology is a wide area, we have 51,000 papers already, right? So now I'll see what is going to, like, what is interesting for me, and from there we'll dive deep to study. Now from this page, what all I can tell you, okay, that this is the time that from which, like, you can from here decide that which year's papers do you want to see, which year's research articles do you want to uh, like read or refer or whatever, right? So now, what is this? Short by reference or short by date? Relevance means if the paper has more credibility, more citations, like you can see cited by 29, cited by 4 people, cited by 1 people, cited by 48 people, but more credibility or more uh, more credible data is there. So that is relevance. And short by date means you will just see the latest paper by date. So I would prefer always see it by, like, see, if you go by date, 2 days ago a paper came, okay, which is talking about marker assisted breeding for rice, which is a very good thing, right? But I would say let's go by relevance. Why? Because the more relevant your paper is, the more uh, great it is. See, it is cited by 694 people. That means not only it is a very emergent technology, everybody is working on it since, right, but also it has relevance, it has helped a lot of people, everybody has referred them, right, followed whatever. Suppose if it is a research article, people have referred them yes, this is true. Now from this research they have continued their work, aisa. Okay, now I'll tell you a small difference, because it was difficult for me initially to differentiate between what is review and what is research. I know in every review article it is somewhere written, but it took me time. So I would like you to understand that in review articles somewhere the word review will be there, and in research articles it won't be. It's a very old paper, that is why I'm referring it. Why? Because it should be there, the whole PDF should be there. Now Another pro tip that I didn't know, I came to know very later in life, that the PDF you can directly whatever wherever science direct this is given, you can directly download the PDF of the paper. You don't need to open on the site, which is super good, right? You can directly open the whole paper as the authors have published it, like they sent it for publication, right? As it is, it will be there. We have to confirm that you're not a robot first though. See, main PDF is there. Now we can study and understand what it is. You can do this, otherwise you can just read it, but review feature. So maybe it is a review because it is featuring review, right? Like it is already mentioned that it is a review. Let's take an example of another paper which is research, so that we understand better what is the difference. Like, see, it was not prominent very easily, but it was somewhere written, right? So let's see, this is a book. The book is books say that they are books, so that is easy for us. Now let's go here. I have changed the timings. Now since this, I can obviously directly download the PDF as well, and it looks like it is a research paper, but I will anyways see if there is any one saying it's a review. No, it is not a review. It is a research paper. It is a pure hardcore research paper. Okay, somebody has did all the work, studied all the papers. It They may or may not have like put, see here, we first found a review. The first reference is of a review paper, because review papers do what they do, very thorough research on a lot of research papers, and then they strategize a plan of action. But while they are doing thorough research, they also put bits and points of those research workers on that review, so that it is easy for us to uh, read more, like grasp more knowledge from a review paper than a research paper, because research paper is one particular person is talking about one particular thing. Okay, and they have their, like they have some assumptions, right? They have anticipated some solutions of a particular problem, and they're working towards curing that. Yes, the research paper might prove that okay, the assumptions were wrong or right, any which ways. They'll only talk about that particular solution, or suppose they're talking about three set of solutions, then those three. But when we are talking about review papers, what they do is, in review papers they talk about the problem, okay, and then what all solutions have been made or presented. Key, suppose one research says three solutions, another research paper says another three solutions. Now they have compared the six solutions. That is why when you're doing review literature, it is good to read review literature. If not so, if you have a lot of time, you can yourself read a lot of research papers and write a review yourself before diving into your research, or side by side for that matter, so that if you have particular good knowledge about something, you can definitely just write about it and then do your research, so you will have two at simultaneously, which is good, right? Now, this is role of artificial intelligence and emerging trends in manufacturing technology for biotechnology industry. This is not something that is of my interest, but let's go towards small scale overview and applications of microfluidics in biotechnology. Microfluidics is something that is a very emerging technology. It is trying to create organs on chip, and it is trying to actually mimic our vasculature system. So let's see. Okay, so this paper has been read approximately these many times, or has been at least opened these many times. So, and already cited by 10 people, and it was published in 2024 itself. So it is a review paper, as it says, but people are still taking guidance from it. Okay, now this was like, okay, this paper, I believe we have all of it. Initially when we search, it is all of it. Okay, But let me also tell you that if you do not have any particular paper, see, wherever this is given, you'll have the paper. Suppose this book is there. It's a long shot, but let me just try if we have it. So knowledge should be free, right? This is the logo of Sci-Hub, and that is how most researchers are trying to get access to papers, because sometimes you do not have multiple accesses. So let's see. So this finding this book is like difficult. Let me just try some. All of the mostly papers are there available nowadays. Most papers are there, but let me just go a little bit back in the day. All the papers are already available. See, we see PDFs of every paper, and the books are books. Okay, yeah, so almost every paper we have. This is the one paper that we do not have. Let's see. I'm just trying to help you in getting access to all your research papers, getting to know where to look for from, or right. So we do this. I copied the DOI of this paper, and mostly SciHub has it, but let's see. It doesn't. Okay, it's a fairly recent paper, but SciHub actually has a lot of access to the papers. There are multiple other options than SciHub as well. Okay, I'll share it with you. If anybody wants to know it, comment below. Okay, I can share it later in the videos. I'll provide a list of all the uh, sites that provide free access to the papers apart from SciHub. But like now we mostly have all the papers. But let's see. But this is particularly a very wide topic. We don't have a lot of papers that are not very basic, right? So let me just single domain antibody. Okay, this is something that I just read. I have zero clue about it. But let me just see it. This is deeper than biotechnology, right? So I will search for this now. Fairly less papers, although a lot of papers are there, but fairly less papers. It seems like it is also a very wide topic. But yeah, again, fairly less papers. So let me see if, yeah, this particular paper, we do not have access to it. Let's give SciHub a last shot. If not so, we'll try some other publication. I think we have, no, we do not have the paper here. So let's give SciHub another chance. I think it's a books part, and that is why we do not have it. But if we have the DOI, we can. There are references, and the DOIs of the references are there. But for the paper, for the chapter itself, we do not have it. How do we cite this article? I clicked on citing this article, and a bunch of articles came through. Okay, I'm so sorry. My bad. So DOI is given. So you please see that I'm not copying the whole thing. I'm just copying it from this area, like the 10 one. Okay. And yeah, we have the paper. So mostly it has all the papers. Somewhere or the other it doesn't have. So I'll give you the alternatives for that. Okay. Now we will randomly take Escherichia coli from here and see how many papers does that have. Okay. Only one. Oh, sorry, my bad. I didn't copy it, it seems. Oh, so it is not copyable because it's a PDF, I think. Oh, it is. See, 3 lakh papers. Fairly less. Okay, 48 lakhs. I gave that particular number so that 7,000 citations. See How many people are talking about this Escherichia right? Okay, let me just go a bit more specific. Fairly less papers. Now I'll copy this particular red 7 thing. Fairly less. So this is it. The more deep you go, the more less papers you'll get. So my research area is more towards 3D bioprinting. So let me just, like, I will be able to help you more there. Okay, so let's see. 1 lakh papers are there. It is an emerging technology, I would say, but it has compare fairly less work done on it. Okay, now let's see what are we going to talk about. 3D bioprinted. Okay, 3D bioprinted organs. See, you get less. And in 2024, only 5,000 people are talking about 3D bioprinted organs. It is a very emerging technology, right? Each year researchers are going on, but again, fairly less than what we were talking about. Like, it is newer to biotechnology. That is why lesser papers are there, lesser people know about it. Now, revolutionizing healthcare, emerging frontiers in 3D bioprinting of tissue organs, right? So this is how, like, we move ahead in research. Now that, okay, let me just show you how we go about it. Like, these two papers we do not have access to these, so let's just go to this one. Okay, we'll read. Okay, they have tried to show us how from 2011 to 2023 things have grown in biotechnology, 3D bioprinting particularly. Okay, now laser attested bioprinting, extrusion based bioprinting, we have talked about it in our printing lecture, right? We'll talk more about piezoelectric and all those things. I think we have briefly talked about these things as well. Now you read this whole paper, and how do we read a paper? That is also very important. Okay, you can read it from here as well. It is also full, but I prefer reading it via the PDF. Okay, so I'll go there. And what is there to learn most in the paper? Okay, you will get everything from that only, and this nobody tells. Uh, and even if people tell, we don't tend to analyze it or realize it that it is really very true or apt. I'll just refresh it again. I think my network is very slow for some reason. Okay, I'll talk about it in from here only, and in the next lecture maybe we can talk more about how to approach a research paper. So you read the abstract. Okay, you see the title, that embedded 3D printing. Embedded means they have used the first word of their that they've used is embedded. Okay, so they're embedding something on something. Okay, 3D bioprinting. Okay, an emerging strategy to fabricate biomimetic and large vascularized tissue constructs. So they are making tissue constructs. Now we'll read the whole abstract to understand an overview of what they're doing, and then we will go to material method straight. I think here we are. So we will go to the material method straight. Okay. Yes. Since it is a review, they have not mentioned material methods because they're not really doing anything in particular. But this is it. This is from where you can actually see what is happening in the paper and understand what they're trying to say. And yeah, in the declaration or something, in the conclusion also, you can have an idea of what they were trying to say. If by reading the material methods you have an opinion, you can or you have an understanding of a particular thing, you can go to the conclusion or the results and discussion part. It is either conclusion or the results and discussion part saying, like you can compare that, okay, have you understood what they were trying to say, or you've understood something else, so you can revisit the paper again and see what they are trying to say there, right? So that was it. The video is pretty long now, so I'll stop here, and in the next part will be covered in the next video. If you want any particular specific demands, you can just comment below. For now, bye bye.